Well, I was over in Killikeen the other day with a recorder, and I was sitting there and listening to the birds and nature. And I had the two dogs with me. One of them ran off, called Patch, and Lexi was with me. And Patch came back, and he had something in his mouth. Patch, drop it. My God, what's that?
Well, it's me. It's one of the little folk.
Little folk?
Aye, the little folk that live round here.
You mean a leprechaun?
Well, that's what you call them. But yes, we're one of the little folk. A leprechaun.
A fairy?
No, we're not fairies. We're leprechauns. Very different.
And what is the difference with a leprechaun and a fairy?
Well, if you should know, a leprechaun is a well-esteemed gentleman, spirit person, and a fairy is scum. They have wings, but we clip them so that they can farm our mushrooms for us.
And then what happens to them?
Well, sometimes we send them back to their forest away over there in Coot Hill, or sometimes we keep them here for entertainment.
And what kind of entertainment do you use?
They're very good dancers. Fairies are great dancers. They're lovely wee yolks.
And you play a lot of instruments, do you?
Well, I'm only a young leprechaun now. I only play, the harp, the flute, the trombone, the guitar, and the sitar. But that's all.
What's a sitar?
It's a guitar from the Middle East.
Middle East?
It's where the sand leprechauns come from.
And tell me about this crock of gold that you're supposed to give me.
I have no crock of gold, man. I'm only a young leprechaun, I said. I'm 76 years of age. We don't get our first crock of gold until 150.
You mean to say I have to wait till you're 150?
I don't think you'll be around.
That's what I'm worried about.
Good.
But tell me more about this crock of gold. Is it a myth or is it true?
Will you let me go? I want to get away from these dogs.
They won't touch you if you don't show that you're afraid of them.
I'm not afraid of them. It's just they're big.
Well, they're not that big.
Well, they're big to me. I'm only a foot high.
I know. Can I kneel down beside you?
But just don't follow me now. You're a big man. Don't follow me. Just kneel. Kneel. Stop. No. All right.
Right.
Just kneel there.
So, tell me more about this fairies and growing mushrooms.
Well, we'd bring the fairies over in trucks. We used to sometimes bring them on the backs of foxes and badgers over from the Coot Hill forest to farm for us. They're very useful, old yolks. And it's not too cruel. They don't feel it when we clip the wings, and the wings grow back when they go back to Coot Hill. But they would grow the mushrooms in the daytime because they're invisible, so the big folk don't see them.
And how many of little folk are there?
But that'd be telling.
No, you have to tell me. Or else, Patch.
All right. Keep that dog away from me. I'll give you an answer. I'll answer every question you ask, I promise. Just keep that dog away from me. Right, there's somewhere between 2 and 250,000 fairies in this forest.
And what did they call you?
Well, that's my name. For me, not for you.
Yeah, but you have to tell me.
I don't.
Lexi?
No, hold on. My name is Finnegas.
Finnegas?
Aye, it's Finnegas. None of those old human names that you think we have. That Darby O'Gill and things like that. They're all just human names put on us. That's silly stuff.
How do you mean it's silly?
Well, why would a leprechaun have a human name? That'd be like a human having a leprechaun name. That's just silly.
And what about this crock of gold? I keep coming back to this crock of gold.
Are your ears blocked, man? I told you about the crock of gold. I don't get it till 150, so don't be asking.
But if I kidnap you?
Right. If you kidnap me and I have a crock of gold, maybe I could help you. But if I have no crock of gold and you kidnap me, what do you think that means, big man?
I don't know. It means that I get nothing.
Exactly. You're clever. You catch on quick, don't you?
Can you tell me about these mushrooms that's in the mushroom field up on the left-hand side coming into Killikeen?
What, the horse mushrooms?
Yes.
They're lovely wee mushrooms, but they don't have much taste to them. Now, there's some sneaky people come round. People come round in the morning time, the big folk, and try and steal them. They don't have much taste to them. I don't know why they take them. They call them shrooms. I don't know why. And then there's some others that'll be around Killikeen, around the same area. And they come over for the dogs, but they don't do much dog walking. They don't have any dogs with them. I don't know why they're there. But that'll be mostly what happens over that side of Killikeen. But I live over this side.
Yeah, what about Lochouter?
What about it?
It'd be over there.
I'd be here and there.
And can you tell me more about Lochouter? And
well, as I understand it, you sound like you're from Cavan.
Yeah.
Well, then you should know about it.
I know about it. Why do you get so gripey?
Well, would you had two beasts fending over you, drooling over you, and a big, big beast kneeling down beside you, wouldn't you be out of temper?
No.
You'd be happy, would you?
I wouldn't be happy.
Well,
but
then.
I wouldn't be vexed like you. I'd try and pass myself off.
Pass myself off.
Yeah.
Pass myself off.
Yeah. Talk normal to me.
I'm asking every question.
You're not answering the questions, though.
Then do it, ask.
You're like a politician.
Well, who do you think taught them?
The leprechauns. I mean, the little folk. Sorry.
The little folk.
The little folk. So, tell me more about how many there is little folk.
Well, there'd be somewhere between 2 and 250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not easy spotted. That's what we can't understand.
Well, that's not for you to understand, is it? We're magic folk. You don't really see us very often. And besides, we'd be out early in the morning and late at night. We wouldn't really be around the daytime.
Drink your own poteen.
Well, we drink our own poteen, but we use it for the muscles. We rub it in, and we do, yeah.
What about giving me a bottle of poteen?
God, you're an old skive, do you know that? You know you're from Cavan. No crock of gold, so I'll have some poteen. No poteen, so maybe he's a cobbler, is he? Maybe you have some shoes that are broken.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Ah.
Could you make shoes for the dogs?
Oh, for God's sake. Shoes for the dogs. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
So it's amazing, this... it's hard to believe I'm sitting here talking to a little fella.
It's hard to believe I'm sitting here listening to a big fella.
I don't know, I can't just... But tell me the strange things you see in the forest.
The strange things. Is that what you want to know?
Yeah, you know, like the birds and the bees and the butterflies and... It's the butterfly... I haven't seen butterflies in a while.
I only saw 26 butterflies in the last 2 hours. There are some, yes.
Oh, is there? I didn't see any.
There are. Let's see. You want to know about strange things? Birds, bees, butterflies, yes. Rabbits, foxes, some badgers, some snails, some slugs. We usually collect the snails because they make good cooking.
Oh, fishermen. Would you see many fishermen?
We see some now. They come around, but their eyes are on the lake and their backs to the forest, so they don't see us.
I see. So that's why they don't see you.
Yeah, they don't see. You see.
Yeah. But I mean, like, what? How come my dogs can pick you up and carry you here?
Because they have big noses.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, they have big noses, so they can smell me coats. I have a good coat and a bad coat, and there's a smell off each. The good coat has a smell of mushrooms, and the bad coat has a smell of roses. So the dogs usually track me down through the bad coat.
I see. So, if I let you go now...
Yes, you can. Please let me go. Let me go away from these big beasts.
Will I see you again? That's what I'd like to know.
I don't know. Are you blind?
No, I'm not blind.
Well, then maybe you will. Maybe you won't.
You don't answer straight, do you?
Well, you don't ask straight, do you?
I do ask.
Will I see you again? What kind of question is that to ask someone? I don't know. What if you're struck blind tomorrow? Then the answer's no. But I don't know if you'll be struck blind. God, all human, you're all stupid. You know that.
This is unreal.
Real enough for me with these two beasts over me. And you.
Shall I let one of the dogs carry you back into the forest, or will you be all right getting back in on your own?
No, don't let him on me. I'll get in myself. Don't touch him. Don't let him go. Let me go. I'll go myself.
Will you tell me where you live? No, I don't mean actually. Do you have houses? Do you have...
Well, we live in little holes in the ground. Under the ground. You know, little complexes like, you know.
Like rabbits?
No, not like rabbits. They're dirty old beasts. We just use them like horses.
Oh, I don't know what to say to you. I never met a little fella like you before.
Well, I mean, ask any questions.
Like what? You won't tell me anything about your hair and about your beard, and why do you have such...
Why would you need to ask about the hair and the beard? It's right here in front of you. The hair is red, the beard is red and long.
Why red? How come you're not black-haired?
Well, why have you got grey hair? Why have you not got black hair?
Because I grew old.
I'm young.
At 76. You couldn't be young at 76.
You can if you live to 1,000.
Is that... You're winding me up.
My grandfather lived to 1,096. My grandmother lived to 1,094. My father is 722 and my mother is 672.
And have you any brothers and sisters?
That'll be telling.
You won't even tell us anything.
All right. I have only one brother, then he's a half-brother. And I have only 12 dozen sisters. And of them, 6 dozen of them are half-sisters and a quarter dozen of them are quarter-sisters.
Just because they're small, you don't call them halves.
You do. We cut them in half.
I can't believe I'm talking to a little fella down on the ground, kneeling in the grass, and you're just winding me up all the way through.
Which can't you believe? That you're talking to a little fella or that you're kneeling in the grass?
I'm kneeling in the grass and winding myself up here.
You're winding yourself up. I'm not winding you up.
You are winding me up. Anyway, so...
Ask your questions, human.
Oh, yes. I'm... pheasants. Do you ride pheasants? I mean, and don't mean literally. I mean like an aeroplane. Use them as...
Do we get a boarding pass, go into a pheasant and fly in the high air to other countries inside a pheasant?
No. Ride on the wing.
Oh, sure. Pheasants are dirty creatures. They have lice. I got lice off a pheasant about 22 years ago. I had to bury myself up to a foot of sand over there on that beach in Killikeen until the lice came out. By the way, you should do that. If you ever have any creatures hanging around your body, bury yourself up to your head in sand, wait for the sun, and they all come out like little crabs.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What about people coming over and kicking sand in your face?
Well, they're not there. They can't see me anyway. Usually I'm invisible unless a dog manages to grab me in the forest.
How do you mean invisible now?
Not visible.
Oh, but I mean, like, I thought being visible and you just dodge about being not invisible.
Do you know what you just said? Have you even asked a question now?
I'm trying to get through to myself, talking to a little person like you that's grumpy. Maybe it's your size. Maybe you have a chip on your shoulder.
Why would I have any chips on my shoulder? I don't even eat potatoes.
But I mean, like, you're aggressive all the time. Why do you be aggressive?
Well, let's see. I have a beast about the size of a lion compared to you right in front of me. I have another one in front of me who just sank his teeth into my shoulders. And then I have a thing about the size of a gorilla compared to a mouse, kneeling down beside me, waiting to let them 2 dogs on me. Would you be in good humour?
I would be. Well, you wouldn't want to be so aggressive because the dogs don't like being people aggressive with me.
No. It's all right. I'm nice. I'll be nice. Don't let them dogs on me.
Right then. So it was just unbelievable talking to you.
Well, you can believe it now.
I can't believe it.
Good, because no one else will believe you.
And what about rainbows? Is there a crocodile at the end of your rainbow? It seems that I'm obsessed about gold.
There's a crock of something at the end of it.
And it's not me, anyway.
Well.
I know. Can you tell me more about your family and...
Well, I told you about my grandmother, my grandfather, all my brothers, my sisters, my half-brothers, half-sisters, quarter-sisters, quarter-brothers, both my parents. I mean, come on, what else do you want to know?
Well, that's about it, because why do you keep calling them quarter brothers? I know they're only small people, but quarter and halves and all this. But anyway, we won't go into that.
No. No.
Right, best let you get back to what were you doing before the dog picked you up?
Mushroom picking. It's a great sport of mine to go out looking for mushrooms. And let me just say this to the big folk out there. If you're going around the forest and you see mushrooms, will you please leave them alone? They're my livelihood. Some leprechauns are cobblers. Some leprechauns are wing clippers of the fairies. I'm a shroom man. I grow mushrooms and sell mushrooms. Please stop. Stop picking my mushrooms.
What about the magic ones?
They're all magic. Yeah.
Well, thank you. What was your name again?
That'll be telling.
There you go.
Bye-bye now. Good luck.